Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I am Laura Makar and today I'm going to reorganize the whole of my bookshelves. I've been wanting to do that, well, just for a week if I'm honest, but I don't know how I want it yet, and I feel I just need to play around with all of the books that I have to see if I group them by genre, for example, what the stacks look like. And I have this bookshelf behind me and I'll kind of take you maybe a little bit through it, and I also have some books upstairs in a spare room that we have, and there I have some French books and I kind of don't know yet what I want to do with them, so I'm going to take everything, bring it down, put it here on the ground and then just play around with stacks. And then I'm going to reorganize the whole thing, and I'm really happy and anxious and really, not anxious, happy, excited. Excited is the word. But first, I was cleaning, well, I was making some space and I realized that the floor is not really ready to be stacking some books, so I need to do some cleaning first. Let's do that. Okay. The floor's ready. Let's start bringing in the books. Start with a quick overview of how it's done now, because it feels like I have a system, but that system is not very logical. So the problem that I have is that I have I don't know how I want things. Do I keep languages separate? Works very well with all of the French books because look, they have the same style and the same height. And I like things being the same height. Got caught by the plant. But then I have a couple of authors. I want authors to be together, and I have some authors that I have in English and French, or English and Dutch. Do I have Dutch and French? Don't think so. So that's a problem. And I have books from one author that have different heights. And I mean, the worst of all is Khaled Hosseini. I'll show you who I have in English, Dutch and French. So that's why I want to play around. Wait, I was going to tell you how it's done. Right now here I have books that I really like that all have this height. Here are all of the books I really liked, mostly in English and some Dutch maybe. Random books that I liked, not enormous. These are my boyfriend's books, they aren't going to move. Unread books, I'm gonna keep this stacked. See, that's another problem of this bookcase, is that I need to keep things stacked this way. Random books that I liked, new books that I need to find a place for, a mix of French books that I want to keep together because they have a nice height, random books that weren't good enough to be on these piles, random books that kind of went together, French books that I really liked, and behind here we've got books that I haven't read yet but that I'm kind of hiding so that I'm not overwhelmed by all of the books I have to read. I think right now I have about 25 unread books. So let's deconstruct this. I'm now in our little upstairs room with these bookshelves, and as I said, I mostly have French books in here, but I kind of want to see what I want to do with them and get an overview of what I have also. So I'm just going to put it all in here. I did reorganize this, I think, 2 months ago, when we put a desk in here. For one of us had to work here. But yeah, I want to reorganize it all because now I just don't like that here, for example, you can't really see what these books are. So I have random French things here, old kids magazines here, random stuff here. Also, see, you can't see these stacks, and I do have my old Aragon, I have my Bronte sisters thingy, see, my manga, but you can't see them. And it's also partly because of these boxes. I don't really like these boxes because they are too deep, so you can stack things 3 times if you want, and I don't like that. And they're too high, so if you kind of stack all of your books like this, you don't use all of this space, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna put it all in this big boxy thing. let's start with the bookshelves here. So these are my translated things from other countries and historical fiction. Kind of a great batch. Oh, this is non-fiction. Oh, this is non-fiction. Maybe you should go with the non-fiction. No, I'm gonna keep you here. This is a stack of books that I think I might want to have kind of visible because I really like historical fiction and stuff from other countries. And I also have this historical fiction pile that wasn't really translated, and I think I might want to put these in the neighborhood of the translated things. I also have a couple of French historical thingies over there, but because I didn't really like those, I think I'm going to keep these separate from these, if that makes sense. And this big pile, well, these big piles are my classics. And we have got 3 languages. I mean, look, this is Tolstoy. I've got War and Peace in Dutch, and I've got Anna Karenina in French. There are some French classics, there are some English classics, there are some, well, Russian classics. Yeah, and I think I want to keep these all together. My Emmas. This is my non-fiction, these 2 piles. And this is really one thing that I really want, I think, to keep together, because until now they were kind of scattered all over the place, just depending on how high they were. Now, what are these? These 2 are just random grey books that I don't really know where to put. French literary fiction. This is a pile of random things that I love and just happen to be his magical realism, so I want to keep those together. Don't know what this pile is. Kids books, mangas, and then here all of this is fantasy that I don't know if I want to keep them together or not. I might differentiate between kids stuff and non-kids stuff, but I'm afraid that everything might be kids stuff. And I don't really know what I want to put these. Maybe I'm going to put these all upstairs. This pile is all of my Bernard Weber. Yeah, these should all stay together, and I think I'm going to put them upstairs. These, yes, we have got piles behind piles. I should turn them around, then maybe you can see the titles. Wabba-day! These are a bunch of French books. French contemporary fiction. Not really my style anymore. Look, and now you can see here all my Bernard Weber. Look! How poetic. So I talked about my historical fiction that I'm going to put with the translated stuff. Dutch literary stuff. Random Joël Dicker that I need to find a space for. A little bit of mystery. Well, maybe Joël Dicker should be over there. And here we've got some random fiction, I suppose. And I don't really know or think how I'm going to subdivide these or what I'm going to do with these yet. So that's all the piles that I have. I think I'm going to try to put these in my different shelves. See first what I definitely want to put upstairs, definitely want to keep downstairs, and then we'll see how that looks and evaluate from there. See you in a bit. See, this is what I mean. This. Is it? Yes. Great book. Needs to go over here with its little friends. Can't fit. It's too big. Look, can't fit. Can't fit. Can't fit. Ah! I took a break, went for a ride, came back home because I had a headache. But yeah, we're gonna continue. And my current conundrum is that I have to choose between. Well, no, okay, I have multiple conundrums. One is that I have now put my literary fiction in one big stack, and it fills the whole height. It's the stack over there. There. But because it's completely filled up, it means that whenever I get one other literary fiction, it won't fit. So I think I will have to split it up into two right now. I think that's the smart thing to do. Next conundrum is I have two other categories that I still want to get into these bookshelves, and that is one, my fantasy, and two, my classics, and I have to decide where to put which ones. And on the fantasy side, I have to decide which one are going to go here and which one are going to go upstairs. And I'm going to start with the classics. Okay, I think we're done downstairs. And the rest, let me show you. Can all go upstairs, I think. Okay, let's do this. I now have my unread books over here in these two, and I'm okay-ish with that, but I just realized I have a lot of other books to find a space for. So. Okay, we're kind of done, except for the fact that I don't have a space for these. These are my Narnia books, and I'm kind of reading them now, but I thought because it's a bigger stack, I need to think of them and give them a space. You'd think, great, put them with a fantasy, which is this box. But there's no space in that box. And it's not, I mean, look, these are all of the different heights I have to play with. So I could stack them, except then the larger one won't fit, so I have that problem. Okay, it turns out I was exaggerating if I just moved one of the unread fantasy that I have A Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, which is a Mistborn novel, and I kind of bought it because I like the sound of it, and it's only later that I realized this is the second book, I believe. Anyway, I've had this for a long time and I still need to get the first book. But if I just move this one, then the Narnia book fit. Hope this video was somehow entertaining. Somehow when I watch other people reorganizing their shelves, it looks aesthetic. And I don't think this was aesthetic. Ah well. See you guys another time. Bye.